Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jalen. Hello if you're new here. I asked you guys what you wanted to see because I was filming a bunch of videos and a few people DM'd me and said to do a story time. My Instagram is in the description. I do a lot of polls and things on there and I respond to all my DMs. So yeah, we're gonna do a story time. I'm basically going to expose two companies or individuals that really screwed me over pretty recently. The second story happened a few weeks ago and the first one was about a year ago. So where do I start? Okay, so basically I have always had like good teeth. I've had one cavity when I was like 5 and I got it filled, never had an issue again. I had my wisdom teeth taken out when I was 13 and then not an issue ever again. I got my teeth cleanings every 6 months and then I got pregnant and I didn't go to the dentist for a while, about probably a little over a year. But in between that time, I took really good care of my teeth. I was taking prenatals, like I was taking care of myself, and I've never had an issue with my teeth before. And then one day, I noticed this like, it looks like a hole on one of my molars, like it looks like a little indent, okay? And I was freaking the hell out. I kept like, I literally was in tears crying, telling my husband like, oh my God, like I have a cavity, I have a cavity. We're gonna have to pay for this, that freaking sucks. And so he's like, come on, like you probably don't have a cavity. How do you know it's a cavity? I'm like, I can see the hole in my tooth. I can see it's a cavity. And so finally I make a dentist appointment to go see a dentist that was out of pocket because they weren't with my insurance company, but it was the only dentist that could see me fast. So this dentist office was beautiful, like spectacular. It was so nice, and the dentist was super nice and cool, and they did an x-ray on my teeth, and then they looked at it and he's like, oh, you don't have a cavity, like this isn't a cavity, this is just from like grinding your teeth and things like that. So basically I put a hole in my tooth, but there's no pain, and it's just like cosmetic. And he's like, I can drill it down for you or fill it or whatever you want me to do. Or maybe he didn't say drill it down, but he did say he could fill it if you want me to, but he's like, it's just cosmetic, so it's not necessary and you'd have to pay for it. I didn't want to pay for it, so I was like, oh well, if it's just cosmetic, then no, I'm gonna leave. And then my husband's like, oh my God, I told you to have a cavity, made this huge deal, blah blah blah. So anyway, so I go home and everything's cool, everything is totally fine, life is good. But I still needed to get a cleaning because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've gone to the dentist. So now I have the peace of mind that there isn't a cavity and I need my teeth cleaned. I didn't want to pay this dentist to clean my teeth because he was out of pocket and I didn't want to pay for that. So I had made my dentist appointment. We go to the dentist's office and everything's fine because I'm like, I don't have cavities. Woohoo! I'm cavity free. And this is like maybe 2 months after the other dentist appointment, okay? That's important. 2 months after this dentist that x-rayed my teeth and said I had no cavities, I go to another dentist to get my teeth cleaned. And the hygienist is cleaning my teeth, and then she said that she noticed something, but she can't confirm if it's a cavity or not. Like the dentist will have to tell me, which that gives me so like horrible anxiety. Like back in school when the teacher would be like, oh, I'm gonna give you guys your report cards at the end of class, I'd be like freaking out the entire class that I was gonna have a bad grade, and now I have to wait an hour for you to give me the stupid report card. Like don't or like if my husband texts me and says, hey, we need to talk, or when I lived at home my mom would text me and say that, y'all, I would literally almost have a panic attack. It would stress me out. Like just tell me, like why would you tell me that? Like tell me. Anyway, so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for her to finish cleaning my teeth. I'm kind of annoyed because I'm having to wait. Why did you say anything to me? And finally the dentist comes in the room. He looks at my teeth, then he looks at the x-ray, and then he starts reading out random like words to the dentist or to the hygienist while he's looking at my x-rays on my teeth. So I forget, what is it, like DL something 30 whatever 9, I don't know, whatever the letters and numbers are, and he starts reading one after the other. So it's like 1 2 3 9. Okay, he gets up to 9 what 9 what? He says I have 9 cavities that needed to be filled immediately, like quick. Because I asked him, I was like, well, how much time do I have to do that? Because I don't have the money to pay for 9 cavities. And he's like, well, we need to get the first like 3 done like in the next like couple weeks, and then like just quickly after that we'll get to them all. And I'm crying hysterically crying in this office, like unconsolable, is that the word? Like I'm pissed, like what do you mean I have 9 cavities? And so I leave and I call my parents and I'm crying on the phone to my mom, and my mom's like, Jalen, you were just at another dentist and had no cavities and they did x-rays. So how did you get 9 cavities that are needing to be filled immediately in 2 months? Does that make any sense? And my dad's like, you need to get a second opinion. And then he was like, you know, if you have to get it done, like, we can help pay for it. And I was like, I don't need your money. I just don't want to have freaking cavities in my mouth. It makes me so mad. All right. So I'm freaking out and I'm not happy. I'm very pissed. I brush my teeth twice a day. I floss every day. I do everything that I can to take care of my teeth. I don't eat a lot of bad foods unless it's my cheat day. And on my cheat days, I brush my teeth more times than I usually do. So like, I'm doing everything I can to take care of my teeth. So you're telling me now that everything I'm doing is not, like, it's pointless. So I call another dentist and I'm like, hey, I need a second opinion. I'm freaking the heck out. So they're like, okay, come in. And so like a week later, I guess, or maybe 2 weeks at the most, they told me, like, you know, come in. So I'm there, I get there. This dentist's office is, again, immaculate. The one that I went to, the last one that said had 9 cavities, not cute. This one, immaculate. It is beautiful, prettier than the first one, okay? Nice. It has a good feeling. I feel comfortable. They were throwing him a birthday party that day, so there's balloons everywhere, and they're playing Matchbox 20 on the radio, and he's young, and the dental hygienists are young. Not that being young matters, but it's like a hip, fun place. Like, everyone's like super cool and nice and chill. And so I go back, and I don't know if it's a hygienist or whoever takes x-rays, they x-ray all my teeth. The other dentist that said I had 9 cavities, when they x-rayed, they did the one where they stick that thing in your mouth and like it's really uncomfortable. This dentist has like a more high-tech x-ray thing, and so I didn't have to do all that. I still had to put things in my mouth, but it wasn't like the other one. And so they did that, and then I had to wait for, you know, the dentist to come into the room to check on like my teeth and on me. He looks at my mouth, he looks at the x-rays. Guess what, guys? Can you guess? Like, comment down below right now and guess. I have no cavities. Did you hear that? You should have saw me when he said that I had no cavities. I was shocked because I can't believe someone would lie to me and say I did, but also like not shocked because I knew in my heart that I didn't have 9 cavities. And now you might be wondering, well, how can he say that you have 9 cavities and like get away with that? Like, he's literally gonna drill into your teeth. How can he get away with saying that? Does that make any sense? The way the dentist explained it to me is that I do not have any cavities at all, but I have like so you have enamel and then dentin. I don't have any like tooth decay that goes into my dentin at all. I have lower amounts of enamel in certain places in my mouth, which sometimes dentists will say like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and fix this, but it's unnecessary. And my dentist told me, like, drilling in your teeth, if it's not necessary and important to do, is worse for your teeth than like waiting out to see if anything gets worse. A lot of people will lose some enamel or go to just like the beginning of their dentin, I think that's how you pronounce it, and never have a cavity. So for someone to say that I have 9 teeth in my mouth that needed to be drilled when none of them are a cavity is absolutely insane. But he can get away with it because in his professional brain and opinion, he thinks that all those teeth should be drilled. No, what it is that at the time I had bad insurance. Well, not bad insurance, sorry, that's wrong. I had Medicaid. So I had state insurance, which means it's most everything is covered except for like fillings. They don't cover that, but they cover your like appointments there. And so they get paid more when I would have to get a filling or something where I'm having to pay them instead of insurance paying them, if that makes sense. So they're making money off of doing procedures that don't need to be done. And I couldn't believe it. And he said, you know, my teeth look great, and that, you know, the next time I come, and then the 6 months later, which I just had my next appointment. When was that? Last Friday, so almost a week ago. And guys, guess who still has no cavities, and none of the enamel has gone no more. Like, my teeth are fine. There's no cavities. Nothing has gotten worse. I've continued to brush and floss every day, and I'm taking great care of my teeth, and they're fine. So just not disclaimer, but I don't know what I'm trying to say, but listen, if a dentist or a doctor or anyone ever tells you that something is wrong with you, like you have 9 cavities when you've never had an issue with cavities in the past, or even if you have had an issue, 9 is a ridiculous amount of numbers, and it does not hurt to get a second opinion. You should always get a second opinion on everything. If a mechanic says something's wrong with your car, you need to get a second opinion, because mechanics lie too. Mechanics lie all the time, because guess what? You're talking to, like, for me, for instance, if I go into a mechanic shop and they're like, you need your transmission and your engine replaced. Is that the same thing? I don't know. That's the point. They can just charge me whatever they want and tell me whatever's broken when it's not. And same thing with your teeth, because how are you going to know that you have a cavity or not? How do you know? You don't. You can't tell. Just like I thought I had one and I didn't. So just like question people, question if they have the best interest for you. If you have a bad feeling about someone that's like a dentist or doctor or mechanic, go somewhere else, because they are sketchy sometimes. And I thank God I went to another dentist, because he would have just drilled my teeth for no reason. It just makes me so mad to even think about. Okay, so the next little story I'm going to tell you guys is about something that happened on my birthday, and it was just a horrible, horrible day. Okay, so let's start in the morning time. My sweet husband wanted to surprise me, because I always ruin my birthday surprises. Always. Every year I ruin my birthday, and he hates that, because he tries to do something nice and I've ruined it, and then causes a big argument, because then I'm mad and he's mad and everyone's mad. So this year it worked out. We go to the aquarium. I get my free ticket because it's free on your birthday, and the Georgia Aquarium is super cool. And so me, my son, my husband, we go. I'm vlogging. Everything's great. And then my son goes crazy. It was so busy, because it was a Saturday, that there was just like, you couldn't look at anything really. Like, you had to wait so long, and so my son would just get bored, which I can't blame him for that. You're standing looking at a wall for 10 minutes waiting for people to move out your way. He can't run around wherever he wants because there's people everywhere. It wasn't fun. It was stressing me out. We were there for like 30 minutes, saw a few things, which were super cool, what we did get to see, and I hope we get to go back, like just me and my husband, or wait until my son's older and all of us go together, or both. But it just didn't work out, and we had to leave. And I was pissed, but not like at my son for being crazy or at my husband. I was just pissed at all those people were there, because had they not been there, everything would have been fine. So anyway, we get into the car to leave, and we're driving home. Now the aquarium is probably like, because of traffic, it's like an hour away, but I feel like it's less. It might be less, maybe 45 minutes, I don't know. But we're on the way home, and we're literally like 15 miles from our house, and on I-85, the interstate, and our tire pops. It didn't really pop. It had a hole, I guess. So it ran out of air. So our tire is flat. And my husband pulls over to the side of the road, and we're like, we're gonna have to change the tire. We're on the side of I-85 with our child, okay? We can't just sit in the car, because easily someone could hit us, not on, like on purpose, but accidents happen. It's not safe to be in your car on the side of the interstate. If my son hadn't been with me, I would have sat in the car the whole time, because it was nasty and hot outside and there's bugs everywhere. But my husband said we had to get out of the car. So I grab my son, we get out the car, and I'm walking him around. Like, there's this like trail kind of, and like you can still see us, like where my husband is, but we're just walking around playing, I guess. And my husband goes into the trunk of our car to get our spare. He grabs it out, he grabs the jack out, he grabs the tire screw thing, you know what I'm talking about, tire iron, I don't know what it's called. He grabs that, he gets ready to change the tire, and then he realizes that the tire iron thing that takes off the screws isn't the right size for our tires. You might be wondering, what? What do you mean it's not the right size? It's just a basic tire iron. Why isn't it working? Well, that's because the person who owned our car before us put aftermarket tires on our car, and it's not the right size. And instead of replacing the tire iron that they left in the trunk, they just didn't, and no one ever told us. So how would we have known this? So that means that we are stuck on the side of I-85 and have to call an insurance company to send us out a tow truck. So we wanted to get off the interstate. So my husband starts just driving really slowly on the shoulder, trying to get off the exit, because we're 2 miles from the exit. Well, I'm sure you know how this went. The tire ends up getting shredded and just completely falling off the tire, or completely falling off the rim. And so obviously we had to stop, but it worked out better because we ended up in a place that was like way back from the road. And so we were like completely safe. My son could run around and play. Just everyone was happy besides me. I'm pissed, I'm crying, I'm upset. And it's hot. The pollen outside is horrible. My eyes are burning. I have contacts in, so, and if I take them out, I literally can't see. So I'm miserable. I'm hot, miserable, my eyes hurt. My son is just running around. I'm having to like constantly watch him because I don't want him to go into the road. It's just stressful. So I'm trying to stay as calm as possible, and I call the insurance company, and they call the tow truck company after, like, for us, so they know that like the tow truck company is going to get paid, whatever. And they tell me on the phone, the insurance company says that the tow truck company will be there in an hour. Okay, that's our estimated arrival time. And then they said that we would get a text at some point saying a more accurate arrival time. So an hour passes, and all of a sudden I get a text from the tow truck company that says the ETA is an hour. Okay, so we've been here for an hour, and I just get a text that it's gonna be 1 more hour. So I'm even more pissed off, but I'm like, whatever, like I got the text, it's gonna be an hour. The hour passes, and I say to my husband, can I please call them? He's like, no, like don't call them, don't rush them, like they'll be here in a minute. And I was like, please let me call them. Finally he gives in to me, and I called him, and thank God I did, because guess what the tow truck company says to me? They said that they called the insurance company back because they didn't give them all the information they needed, and that no one was coming to get us. I literally bursted into tears, and I was like, what do you mean you're not coming to get us? Like, I'm like upset at this lady. I'm pissed. So my husband takes the phone because I literally can't talk anymore, and he's like, oh, what do you mean? And then they talked or whatever. I had to call the insurance company back, okay? So I called the insurance company, and I was like, what the hell? Like, you guys did not send them out to get us. We've been sitting on the side of the road with a toddler for 2 hours in the sun. It is hot and uncomfortable for 2 hours on the side of the interstate, and you didn't send anyone here and make sure someone was coming to get us? What? And mind you, we've been on the side of the interstate for 2 hours, and no one has stopped to help us, but a few people have honked at us. Thank you to those assholes. Okay, so anyway, they say, or the insurance company says that they're going to call the tow truck company finally and make sure that they're going to come. So they call the tow truck company, and the tow truck company is supposed to come. I call the tow truck company, and I'm like, listen, I want to make sure that you are coming. Please tell me you're coming. They say it's going to be another hour, okay? So a whole nother hour passes, 3 hours that we've been on the side of the road. And they finally get here with the tow truck and the guy who's supposed to change our tire for us. He gets out his little tow truck with his little tools. He goes over to take the tire off, and guess what? He doesn't have the right tire iron for our tires either. So I'm pissed. It's not his fault. Someone should have been here 3 hours ago, but that's fine. I was pissed, and he couldn't take it off, and unfortunately he had a passenger in the car and couldn't drive us home. So he said he could tow the car for us, but he couldn't take us. We'd have to stay there. So we're like, okay, I guess you're gonna take the car, then go ahead. And we had to call a friend to come get us, which took another 30 to 45 minutes, okay? And thank God she came and got us. If she's watching this, thank you so freaking much. Thank you. But it still sucked because we're still on the side of the road for another, like, a long time. So we're literally on the side of the road for 4 hours at this point. She gets there, we get my son in the car, we get in the car. We probably smelled so bad, I'm so sorry. And she drove us home, and I had never been more excited to be home. So what should have been a fun day at the aquarium turned into a sitting on the side of the I-85 for 4 hours, and then coming home and doing absolutely nothing while my eyes are bloodshot red and in pain. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible day. It was supposed to be good, and it could have been good, but it was bad. It was really bad. So yeah, that's basically the stories. And you might be wondering why that's a scam, but I think it's a scam because why didn't anyone come get us or check on us or anything? Like, does that make any sense to you guys? Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.